Hello, hello. Morning, morning.
I only have till 11:30.
All right, no worries. I'm gonna share my screen real quick and then go here. Okay. Cool. That should be fine. We don't have too many items. Um, other than what David and I have been working on regarding the modeling language for the SDKs. Um, so I wanted to kind of give an update on that because I know you had some opinions on it, and I think I found a pretty good middle ground where we're gonna demo a few solutions tomorrow at the implementation SIG. But I think I found something where we can use an intermediary language that generates JSON schema, which just makes the maintainability much easier. So that is one approach. So we kind of get the best of both worlds in this case, but we want to look at the other tools as well. We're going to demo a few and just kind of like discuss, but it sounds like that's a promising option. So I just wanted to mention that.
Good.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I imagine today's going to be a short meeting. Andrea is sick today, so he's not going to be able to be in. And then QCon is also happening, so I imagine a lot of people are there as well. Um, so the big item is the roadmap for 0.5. I ended up printing a PR and then a discussion. I want to kind of go over like the roadmap right now, just so we can kind of see here. What is this? Calendar. This is one we're interested in. Yeah, so these ones, I finished this. This has a PR. This one just has a comment because I'll actually want to get your opinion because I think this might having people outside of just me, Andrea, talking about this, I think will really, really help. Um, so I proposed a question, not really an answer, but more of a question is we have two predicates for the service for CD the CD side of CD events, which is the remove and upgraded predicates. Um, but the issue is that most CD tooling doesn't have a concept of removed. You're always just upgrading. You're just like pushing out new thing or like a new manifest, whether it's removing something or not. So I was wondering, like, what would this mean for consumers, right? Because, like, if they have no notion of this, and then Andrea was saying, oh, well, some tools could have that. And then other tools that don't support it could just ignore it. But then I said, if you think about it, the tools that don't do it would still send an upgraded event, even though it's removing. So it's like a different behavior, right? Of the semantics of the meaning of the event, right? So it's like, is that the right approach where it means something completely different now for some tools versus others, right? So I kind of wanted to open up that discussion some. So what are your thoughts?
It sounds muddy.
Yeah, right,
Um,
exactly.
I
Yeah, it
mean,
does. Yeah, I
it,
agree.
it sounds muddy, and then so what we don't want is we don't want mud, right?
Yep, yep.
So the the idea would be the predicate needs to explain what happened, and if correct me if I'm wrong, but what it sounds like is that even the process of removal could feel like an upgrade. Like you
Exactly.
could
Yes.
upgrade and remove two services and add two services, and it's still an upgrade. Um, and so then the question becomes, um, uh, why would you use upgrade
Or
as a
removed.
word, as the
Yeah,
word?
exactly. Yeah.
Um, and then if you came up with a different term for the deployment, right?
Mhm.
So say you use deployed, right? And then
Right,
the
right.
upgrade and the removals got pushed down into the data somewhere lower so that
Mhm.
you've got this envelope of we did a deployment, right? And then inside of that deployment, we upgraded three things and removed two.
Right,
And
right.
that's the only thing I can think of that comes to my head on how I would handle that. Like and this is all just real quick. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
No, no, but
haven't
this is
sat down and thought through it because this is one of
yeah,
those ones where you would, if you did this in production, like if we did this here at SAS, we would have used upgraded and removed. And then 2 years later, we'd have been like, we probably should have used this other term and pushed this data down. And then we'd either redo the data model or we would leave it the hell alone and just know that during an upgrade, you could have removals.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
and then it becomes campfire knowledge, and now you're like, it's muddy.
Right,
Um,
right. Yeah,
so
and yeah,
yeah,
I agree, and I think you understand the problem, very well, because like I said, like there's clearly some issues with the approach that we currently have. So okay, so I do like your suggestion of potentially moving that into the like a deployed event, um, and seeing how that works because I think that makes a lot more sense, and it makes the tools not need to understand like, well, the tools that can't understand removed versus upgraded or updated, to continue working as appropriate, just deploying. And then, maybe if it's able to provide some, additional information, it can, right? Okay, I do like that. It definitely simplifies things. And whenever things are simple, more simple, like that's always like a push into the right direction, I feel like. Um, so yeah, okay, I'll post this in the GitHub issue because I definitely think we need to address it because it is a problem. It was more of like a thought experiment GitHub issue, to see how these would work. And as I started discussing more with Andrea, I was like, I don't think these events would work at all. And so yeah, I think this makes it pretty clear. Well, your suggestion makes it pretty clear that we could potentially make this more simple just with a single event. So yeah, I'll propose that. I'll see what people say, and see if we can kind of find a better way of representing both removed and updated. But I think you're right. Just moving it into like the deployed event itself might be the best way path or the best path forward. So
yeah. If the
um,
tools don't understand it, then the data is only for the human, right?
exactly right,
Um,
exactly. That's a
I'm
good.
gonna add a.
Actually, I'm
I'll
gonna
add a.
I'm gonna quote
I'll
you
add a
on that because
comment.
that's like
I'll
a
add the
really good.
comment.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, yeah. Please do, Brett. Yeah, I don't want to like take any sort of credit, but yeah, just if you want to do that, yeah, that'd be perfect. Actually, it's less work for me, so I'd much prefer it. If the data is not understood by the tool, it just becomes for the human. This is a very good comment. I really like this because the whole point is not for it not to be for humans. It's supposed to be for interoperability for tooling. So I really like this quote. Okay, cool. I think we have a path forward on that then. And then another one is this camel case. So I fixed the last one. Luckily, it doesn't update any of the schemas. It's just updating all the docs that we have that references the old casing. So it goes from snake case to camel case. So this should be a pretty easy PR to fix that. As you see here, link type, link kind, et cetera, et cetera. So we can this should be a pretty easy merge, and then we can close out this issue. And then I'll ping Andrea for these two because I know these are supposed to be done today. So I'll ping Andrea about these two. We mentioned this one as well. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. PR is ready. Uh, needs reviewers. Um, and then let me ping Andrea. What is the state of these two? Is there a way to link this easier? Let me see. I just do this. We'll just do. All right, cool. All right. What's the status of this and this? Okay, maybe I can just move this. Copy link. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll get the status of these two, and then that will kind of clear up this week's sprint. So we're able to get at least most of these done, or at least half of them. I'm sure we can get the rest done this week, but and then it looks like we have nothing for now. Oh, okay, so we got to do more sprint planning. Okay, so I'll take two more things then. So this is in I guess uh well, let me see. In progress. I guess in progress is um to do. It's not in to do. It's not in backlog. It's not in progress because technically done. It's waiting for reviewers. Review. Yeah, I guess review is good. Um, okay, we'll make that red because review is always most important. Needs review, needs review. Um, and then okay, cool. So what else do we have here? It's not gonna work. Oh, okay. So I'll bring this in um for next week is fixing the enums versus string. I think I've been very opinionated on this, so I can definitely bring this in to the calendar here. When date are we gonna look for? Target date. Probably gonna be a few weeks. Okay, so I'll make it 2 weeks. Actually, I want to make it towards the end of, okay, because that's like Thanksgiving week. Okay, cool. All right, so that at least gives me that. So it looks like we're making way at least for 0.5. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much the sprint planning for 0.5. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about, Brett, or any issues that you had?
Yeah, the only thing that I was wondering what we're going to do about is uh PR 238. We had talked about fixing some stuff, um, some of the words, and Andrea came back and basically didn't think it was. What did he say? It's an issue 237. PR issue 237. So if you go to issue, no,
Oh, I
that's my
see. To be
branch.
more consistent is my guess.
Well, so
Because yeah,
you and I had talked about, or you had talked. Basically, you said, "Hey, who can go do this work?" And I'm like, "I can go do that work." And then it
mm,
turns out that I probably should have talked to Andrea before we did it because the in the issue he says, "I agree we should standardize wherever possible. However, different subjects may have different semantics. In the case of test cases, failure refers to an assertion that is not verified, while error refers to an unexpected error, typically something that lies within the infrastructure required execution of the test." He's not wrong. Um,
right.
and so
Um,
where I went through the enum for outcome and changed the values to, I standardized between success, error, and failure.
yeah. You just
It
got
was
rid of
just,
cancel. I think that was the only one.
yeah, and but we just changed the pass to success
Yeah, yeah.
and fail to failure. But I don't understand.
This should be fine, right? Like, so I guess my question, what was the issue exactly?
I don't
That I,
know. 237. If you go to
uh,
issue 237,
oh, did I close it on accident? I think I did. Ah, 237, 237. Okay, so okay, I agree. We should standardize where possible. Different subjects may have different semantics. In case the test failure refers to an assertion that is not verified, while error refers to an unexpected error. Yeah, but how
yeah.
would a system even really know that? Like,
Oh, I mean, it's just like we have this concept in our system. Like tests can fail and the action still be okay, right? Like
yeah, yeah. Oh, I see
the
what you're saying.
tests,
Like, you mean like not the test itself, like error. You mean like the system itself. Is that what this means?
yeah. That's
Okay,
what I'm
gotcha,
thinking he
gotcha.
means. And I mean, I
Okay.
thought I covered that. I mean, I didn't take error out.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's right here. Yeah, I think you're fine on this. Honestly, I wonder if because Andrea, like he's a very busy person. I wonder if he just didn't see like he like, maybe he just like skimmed through it. I'll ping
Well,
Andrea about this because I think this works. Like it's more consistent and it does cover all the points that he was concerned with. So I don't know what the issue is specifically. Like the only thing that we got rid of, which is canceled, which I don't know is really all that valuable, to be honest. Um, but yeah, we'll see.
I'd be fine putting cancel back. I mean, if it's a
Yeah,
user
yeah,
canceled, right? If the user
yeah, yeah,
canceled it or the system canceled it, I mean that I'm fine with that. But
yeah,
I
yeah,
just didn't
definitely,
under I
definitely.
didn't understand why the pass versus success was a problem. I don't know.
Yeah, let me actually ping Andre on this. I think this change is fine. But you
And like I
had
said, if we have to add cancel back, I
yeah,
can
yeah.
easily add
What's it
cancel
called?
back.
This still satisfies your concerns. I think this approach is just standardizing on what word to use to signify passing or failing of a test in this
So we
case.
use this same. So the other thing is that there was two different semantics for a successful run, and that's inconsistency, right? You could
Yeah,
either
yeah.
have in certain parts of the spec we use success, and in
Yep, yep.
certain parts of the spec we use pass. And I
Yep,
don't
yep, yep.
particularly like pass because it's not clear enough.
Exactly.
Um,
I agree. I agree. Given
and
that,
so we had the same problem with in our system, and we ended up making it a friggin' boolean, so it was impossible to have
right,
any other state other than pass or fail, right? Because it was
right, right,
either
right,
true or it was false. And then I had a lot of trouble explaining to people over the period of time of this system that the event could still fail, even though it was the infrastructure and not the test, right?
right, right, right.
And then they also struggled with the tests all failed, but the action succeeded. Why isn't it true? I said, because the tests failed. And
Mm,
so we ended up with this. If there's any failure in the event, it's a false, right? And
right.
so while that while that was really black and white and maybe a little autistic of me, um,
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
the the thing I was trying to avoid was people using other words, other terms that
Right,
like
right, right,
aren't in the list, right? And then so if you're not there's in our system you can create a gate that doesn't have a schema, and therefore you could literally put anything you wanted in that value, right?
right.
And so I had to build the schema in so that you can't do that. Anyway, I went true and false just to be like militant on whether it passed or failed because I was getting so much wishy-washy behavior.
Right, right. No, no, and like I said, I think this PR is fine. I think Andrea like didn't. I think he might have skimmed through it, or maybe he's remembering an old conversation and didn't realize what the PR was trying to do. That's also a possibility. So I'll ping Andrea on this one. Added some notes here. Given that the comment that he added, which was yeah, like literally yeah, just like it doesn't line up to what you're saying here, so I'm a little confused. Um,
Yeah, I
okay,
mean
yeah,
this issue came straight out of a discussion you and I had, and Andrea wasn't there.
yeah, yeah. I
So
think I think he's a little yeah, just a little confused. So yeah, let me ping Andrea. Like I said, he's sick today, so he probably won't um be able to respond. But I think we can get this merged in, if not by this week, because we have the implementation sig tomorrow. I can bring it up then as well. And if we don't get it merged this week, we can get it merged next week. We might need to re-add cancel back in because actually, when we think about it, like you were saying, like you can cancel things. We might need to add that back in, but that can come later as a separate PR as well. That's fine too. So, but yeah, let's get this merged in as soon as possible because yeah, I think this is completely fine. I don't see any issues with it to be honest. So, um, okay, cool. Um, what else? Okay, yeah. Was there anything else that you had?
No, that was it.
Okay, cool. I think that's pretty much it then. And like I said, I'll ping Andrea. We'll get this sorted out. And thank you for creating that PR, by the way. Like, like any work, any PRs that get created is always appreciated. It's unfortunate. This must have fell off my radar at one point. I need to be more
Yeah, well, so
consistent.
it doesn't help that I've been extremely busy and not been able to attend. And then so what keeps happening is that I've got this one block on Monday
Right.
here at this time, and it's like people just schedule over the CD events
Gotcha.
thing on me because it's uh, and it's not something I can miss. Like we're talking VP level type
Right.
meetings, and my company doesn't have a lot of VPs. So if you're in a
Yeah,
meeting with
yeah.
a VP or a C level officer, then you need to
Pretty
show the hell up.
significant. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, it's no worries. Like I will do a better job. What we've done recently is we've changed where we first always look at the start of the spec sigs, we always look at the roadmap. One thing we need to do is we need to add roadmap and then existing PRs to this list as well. So in this template, I'm gonna do review PRs or outstanding, I'll say outstanding PRs. That way we won't miss it again. I think this is key. So HPS, github.com, CD events, poll. I think it's just poll or is it polls? Let me see.
no, it's CD events spec,
Spec. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, CD
and
events,
then
spec, polls. Yeah. Okay. So that should now we'll look at this and then followed by this. So this will always be the thing that we do. So that way we're not missing anything because yeah, the one thing we don't want to do is like, people are taking the time out of their lives to, contribute code, right? And we don't want to just have it lay there when they've already put in so much effort. That's not good practice on our end. So and I understand like you're saying, oh, you haven't been here, but it's also our responsibility to make sure that we're reviewing these things. So yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So if that is it, then we can kind of close early. I know you said you had to go in 6 minutes anyway.
yeah,
So but yeah, I always appreciate it, Brett. You always have really good
cool.
opinions, really good feedback. So always appreciate you being here. So yeah, I look forward to next week or if you can't join tomorrow too, because like I said, we're gonna do some demos for the code generation stuff. So that might be something you might be interested in. But if you're busy, understand. But yeah, with that said, I'll talk to you later then, all right?
Yep, I appreciate it.
All right, no worries. All right, have a good one, Brett.
You too. Later.
All right, bye.